People say talking helps. People say that if you share crap in your life that you're thinking about and what's bothering you, it halves that problem. A little bit about me. My childhood, same as any old childhood, I think. It had its ups and downs, other than I was bullied all the way through school. And I mean, all the way through school. I was the shortest. I'm not much blooming taller now. 5'6.5". That ain't exactly massive, is it? I was a lonely kid. I loved to keep myself to myself and just be me. Just spend time on my own. When I was at school, I used to play on my own because I couldn't be bothered with anybody else. I didn't want to get involved. I didn't want to do anything with anybody else because I just felt that my own company was better. Less hassle. I got bullied for it. When I got into high school, it didn't stop. It carried on. Halfway through year 10, I refused to go to school. I quit school. I just couldn't be bothered anymore. I wasn't learning anything because I was just getting bullied constantly. Because I was slower at learning things than most of the kids, I'd get bullied for that as well. So yeah, I gave up. I refused to go. My mum and dad got took to court. They got fined for me not going to school. Went back to school for a couple of days after that. And the bullying continued. So my mum asked me what I wanted to do. And I said, Mum, I don't want to go. I refuse. So I point blank refused to go. I started working on car boot sales for the organiser of the car boots when I was 13. On and off. Stopped working on the car boots, probably a couple of years ago now. Last year, year before, I'm not too sure. But yeah, it made me who I am. It brought me out my shell. I was quiet as anything before I started the car boots. It made me who I am. I'm not so quiet anymore. I will say what I want to say. If somebody doesn't like it, that's their problem. I'm going to say what I think. Okay, sometimes that might be not the best answer in the world, but that's who I am now. I'm not an arsehole. I won't be nasty to people. I don't believe in fighting. I believe in talking a problem through and dealing with it like an adult. Not fighting. That's not an answer. When I was 13, I was travelling from the town I live in right now to a place not far away. Some of you might know it, Bilston. I was travelling to there on a bus and I got sexually abused by a man. I was 13 at the time. I didn't report it because I blamed myself. I still do. Still blame myself. I could have done more. People say, but at the end of the day, you were 13. He was an adult. He should have known better. Yeah, I should have shouted for help. I should have fought back. That's part of my mental health at the moment. I finally reported it to the police a couple of years ago. Obviously, they can't do anything now. I'm 36 now. They can't do anything now because, well, they've got no leads to go on. They've got no information as such. They've got no last name for him. I know his first name, but I don't know his last name. A lot of the time I get images in my head of him, which is hard. It hurts. If there's anybody out there who has been through that, you'll know what I'm on about. Which obviously there's a lot of people that have had that happen to them, not in the same scenario, but a lot of people would have had that sort of thing happen to them, and they remember that. It doesn't leave your memory. It doesn't go. You just push it to the back. You try and, I wouldn't say forget about it, but you try and cope with it. You try and just push it to the back of your mind and not think about it as much. Occasionally, it'll come back to the front of your mind, and yeah, that's when all the crap starts kicking up again, which, yeah, is my issue. So yeah, that was when I was 13. When I was 15, my mum and dad split up. They got divorced. My mum moved away to Yorkshire. My dad stayed locally in the West Midlands. Technically, locally, he moved to Worcester, but then moved back to the West Midlands, like Wolverhampton area. So I moved with my mum to Yorkshire, and then moved back, because I didn't get on with my mum's boyfriend at the time. I moved back to my dad. When I was 17, I got arrested. Yes, I went to prison. Did 3 years in prison. I'm not going to say what for, because that's not important. All I'm going to say is I fucked up. Mind my French, but I fucked up. I learned a lesson from that. I was meant to do 12 months in prison, 3 years out of prison on probation. I ended up doing 3 years in prison and 12 months out of prison, because I got recalled twice, because of arguments with my probation officer. I'll say I'm not going to go into too much detail on that, because it's not important. I messed up. It taught me a lesson. Taught me a lesson of life, who to trust, who not to trust. And then from there, life seemed to get better. Thankfully, I got a job not long after coming out of prison. Started sorting myself out. But then, a few years ago, my dad passed away from sepsis after a fall, which hurt. To be fair, my dad wasn't one of those type of people that you could go to for anything, no matter what the problem is. He wasn't really the most understanding person. He'd make a laugh and a joke about most things. So I didn't really go to him for much. But it still hurt. It still hurt. I seemed to get life back on track again. I got married in 2016. To start with, everything seemed really good. Life seemed really great. As time went by, our marriage started breaking up. It was going downhill. I was being treated like a slave. I was basically made to do everything, to the point where I had no life. It was me do everything, or my wife at the time threatened to take her own life and stuff like that, which it come to the point where I was getting assaulted. I was getting hit a lot. I was getting hit around the head all the time, to the point where I'd had enough. We'd tried sorting it multiple times. We'd split up a few times. I'd moved away, gone and stayed somewhere else, and then come back to see how things would work out. But no, November 21, it came to a point where I just had enough. I couldn't deal with it anymore. So I became homeless for 2 weeks because she kicked me out. I became homeless for 2 weeks. Luckily, the church I was going to, they took me in. They let me stay in the office at the church for the 2 weeks. I declared myself as homeless. The council managed to find me the place that I'm in now, which is a shared accommodation, which ain't too bad. It's a house of multiple occupants. It's not too bad. The rent's pretty good. All my bills are included, so it's not too bad. But yeah, June this year, my mum passed away, as I said in my last video. She passed away. Her funeral was the 26th of June this year. I had my last cigarette on that day. Haven't touched one since. I'm now a vapor. I refuse to go back to fags. They're vile. My mum passed away from cancer and sepsis. Miss my mum like mental. As I said in my last video, she was that person who I could turn to for anything. It didn't matter what it was. I came out as bisexual to my mum when I was, 19, 20. And she accepted it instantly. When I told my dad, he was a bit more old-fashioned, that it was not a good thing. But he come round to it. It was all right. But my mum, she was completely the opposite. She was so down to earth. She understood, and she actually said to me that she did have a feeling, because I didn't make friends easily. I kept myself to myself. When I did make friends, 9 times out of 10 they were gay or bisexual. Hey. But yeah, so my mum was there for me for everything. When I went to prison, she was there for me. She sent me letters every single time. Every couple of weeks, I'd get a letter off her. So yeah, it was hard, but she's gone. I miss her like crazy, but I've just got to pick myself up now, haven't I? She's still watching down on me. That's all I've got to think. But it's hard. I don't have my mum to call anymore. I can't ring her up and say, oh, I'm going for crap. I feel like rubbish. I don't know what to do. I can't do that anymore. Technically, I'm on my own. I've got to pick myself up and push myself and just rely on my own heart to keep myself going. I'm going through a divorce at the moment, which I'm happy about, to be fair. Can't wait till it's over and done with. I'm sticking the flags up, sticking the balloons out, having a party. Oh, I am going to be so happy. But I've got to wait for that now. As some of you will probably know, and you've probably seen from my videos, a couple of weeks ago, or well, a while back, should I say, start from the beginning. A while back, I met somebody who I thought was amazing. Yeah, they're a lot younger than me, but I thought they were amazing. They are amazing, to be fair. They're going through a lot of problems themselves. I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that, because that's not fair. But she's going through a lot of problems, which she's trying to deal with herself, which is fair enough. She's getting there. I am proud of her. She's doing really well. She's come a long way. She's got a bit further to go, but she's come a long way. I didn't help that. I created more problems. I almost pushed her backwards because of...
Power off.
Sorry, that was my speaker. Because of my brain, because of my head telling me stupid things. that she didn't want me, she didn't love me, she was going to go off with somebody else, and she's going to start hitting me like my ex-wife did. And instead of me dealing with that myself or sitting down and talking to her about it, I accused her and started going to her dad and her stepmom and getting them involved, which I know now that I should not have done. I should have gone direct to her and I should have spoke to her properly. But I was scared. I was scared to lose her. I was scared to open up to her and push her backwards because of my mental health. Which, yeah, I lost her anyway, so hey. I screwed up there. So yeah, a couple of yesterday morning, morning, afternoon, whatever it was, she admitted that she didn't want to be with me, which, hey, I screwed up. I'll admit that. She says basically that she didn't really want to go out with somebody as old as me. I am older than her. Which is fair enough. I can understand the point. She's had a lot of crap in the past. I'm not going to go into detail because that's her life, not mine. I'm not going to talk about her life. But I brought back memories for her, which she didn't want, which I can understand. I screwed up. I'll admit that. I'll admit I screwed up. But the fact is, I do love her. I do love her. I care about her. I want to support her. I want to be there for her. I know she doesn't want me, which is fine. I do understand that. And I love her enough to let her go. I'm not going to fight for her. There's no point. I'm just going to push her further and further away if I do that. I've told her how I feel about her. She knows how I feel. But now I've got to step back. I've got to let her live her life, be who she wants to be, and I've got to let her go. It's hard. It hurts. I miss her like crazy. I love her to bits. But I love her enough to know that I need to let her go. Letting her go is the hardest thing ever. It's as hard as losing my mum. It really is. I feel like I failed my life completely by losing her. Everything that's happened in my life, which I've spoke about in this video, it has all come back into my mind. And I'm trying to deal with it. Losing her, because I'm not saying her name, has made that harder. I'm not saying she's at fault for walking away, because she isn't. She really isn't. I don't blame her. Don't blame her for walking away, and I totally understand why. But yeah, I miss her a lot. A lot. She video called me last night, and just seeing her face cheered me up. I could see she was happy. I could see she was safe. And that made me feel better. Not 100%. Nowhere near 100%. But I felt happy. I felt happy that she was happy. And that's what I wanted. As long as she's happy, I'm alright. I'll keep pushing. I'll sort myself out. Get back to the happy old me again. cracking jokes about everything, being rude about most things. But yeah, life's hard. Life's hard, but I have made mistakes. We all do. We all make mistakes. If anybody ever says they don't make mistakes and they don't screw up, they're lying. We all make mistakes. And we all have to sort them out. So, yeah, that's a little bit about my life at the moment. So, yeah. So, let's say talking about things helps. We'll see. We'll see. So, yeah. I've been talking for over 20 minutes, so you'll get bored of watching this video. I know you will, but hey, I don't care. So, yeah, enjoy. Don't fall asleep watching it. If you got to this point, well done. Catch you again soon.